Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports Talk Live, where we debate various sports topics like
Tim Tebow,
LeBron James,
A-Rod.
No! Welcome back to Sports Talk Live, a show that we like to talk about real sports, not those fake, stupid stories. I'm Nick Ragner.
I'm Gennigen.
I'm Travis Judell.
I'm Sam Librizzi.
And guys, let's just start it off. Huge story in the NFL right now. Jonathan Martin, allegations, things, they just keep popping up left and right. Really leads to the conversation about just locker room culture in the NFL. So, Travis, I got to have your thoughts on exactly not only the Jonathan Martin case, but also just locker room culture in the NFL in general.
Yeah, definitely. This is taken to the next level of bullying. But according to Teddy Bruschi, not all locker rooms are like this. This is a kid who has had a different way of responding. I mean, this isn't the reaction you expect from most people. You should be able to push the rookies a little bit, but you don't want to push them to the point where they're going to go to the media. I mean, what happens in the locker room should stay in the locker room, but if you have a problem, you should go to the coaches rather than the media first and have them deal with it.
Great point.
Rather than going around and causing all this. This is a lot bigger than what it really needs to be.
But this shouldn't happen. Like, the reports come out saying that someone said something about Jonathan Martin's sister, his mother, racial insults. These are things, this is a workplace for him, even like it's a workplace when you go to your job in life. And you shouldn't have to deal with this type of harassment on a daily basis at your job. I don't care if you're a football player. I don't care if it's a locker room culture. This isn't something that should happen ever.
I know, I feel both ways that you guys are feeling. I understand what you're saying, that it's a workplace and that what's there, that you shouldn't be saying these type of things about, a mother, sister, anything like that.
Definitely.
And I also understand your side of how he should have, gone to the coaches, not to the press right away. But it seems like he was a different person in a way that, from what it says, he left the team on October 28th. He ended up taking, meds for the situation and had a dog companion too, I read, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, but he seemed very troubled because of this and everything. So it really got to him. So each person is different in how they handle something here.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
I got to ask, guys, though, but how far is too far? Like, I mean, we hear the allegations and everything like that, but this is an NFL locker room we're talking about. These are big boys. We've heard different instances where the NFL locker room isn't necessarily rated PG. So exactly how far is too far then? Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a line that's drawn, but it's definitely hard to tell where there's going to be a line that is the line that's drawn. I know from our high school we always mess around with each other in the locker room and things like that, but no one went out and quit the team because of it. But it doesn't take to this point where Jonathan Martin is at.
I feel that it goes upon the coaches and the coaching staff that they have to keep an eye out for this. And and the team captains, even if there's the team captains are initiating this, but there has to be somebody within the locker room that is making sure that there's something like this, that if there's going on, have somebody there under control, because it is going to happen. I mean, we maybe not hear about it all the time, but it does happen in locker rooms, we know.
I take a hard line stance on this. I just don't think it should happen. And I don't care who he talks to about it. If he has to get the attention on it from the media to make change in this sort of culture, then that's what he has to do, because I don't think this should happen anymore ever.
But I got to ask you, Jesse, you seem really passionate about it, and it seems like obviously you have a stance. So where does it go from just horsing around with your teammates to being some sort of harassment? I got to know where that line is, because
to me it's a workplace. It's a workplace, and anything you would do at a normal workplace is what's permissible at that place. I mean, if Jonathan Martin isn't comfortable with this, and every workplace has its own culture, and if you're not comfortable with the culture in that workplace, then the workplace should change to you. You shouldn't have to change for the workplace.
Great point. Well, on a lighter topic, All-Star Weekend in the NBA just occurred. Huge weekend, actually. We saw a great dunk contest, great three-point competition. But first, I want to get to the All-Star game. Kyrie Irving, MVP East, finally came out on top for once. I mean, it's been quite a long time since it happened.
Definitely.
You know what, Sam? Got to have your opinions on the All-Star game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was watching it called the fourth quarter, and you could definitely tell that there was the fourth quarter. That's where they pick it up. You could tell LeBron was being way more serious about it. East ended up winning 163 to 155, as you stated. Kyrie Irving was MVP with 31 points, 14 assists, 5 rebounds, and then Melo also had a 3-point record in the game. He was 8 for 13 from 3. Wow. Yeah. So it was a great game that there's obviously highlights fulfilled everywhere, but I love in the fourth quarter when it comes along and gets together and they really start playing for real and stuff like that. That's what I love.
What I missed about the All-Star game was seeing Kobe out there.
Oh man, you're a Kobe lover.
I'm a Kobe lover, definitely, and it was hard to see him sitting over on the sideline, pretty much being an analyst during the game, rather than being out there on the court showing what he could have done during that game.
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite things about Kobe Bryant is actually the fact that when he plays in those All-Star games, he plays like a teammate. Like, if you guys watch Kobe Bryant in an All-Star game competition, he'll score his points, but man, does that guy want to put on a show. He doesn't want to just take the ball over and be that ball hog that he's known to be. So that's one of my favorite parts about All-Star games. Jesse, your comments?
And speaking of putting on a show, the Rising Stars game was Friday night, and Dion Waiters and Tim Hardaway did just that, going up and down the floor constantly. They would just pass them the ball, one-on-one battles between Waiters and Hardaway Jr., and about 5 possessions in a row, just step-back threes, set the whole crowd on fire. Waiters had 31 points in the game. At one point, he broke Tim Hardaway's ankles. I mean, just put him right down. Hardaway, though, had 36 points, 7 3-pointers. Neither one of them was the MVP of the game, though. That went to Andre Drummond, who had 30 points and 25 rebounds. I mean, this was the most entertaining basketball game I've watched in a really long time. And it was just an exhibition between some really young guys and some up-and-comers.
Really quick, actually, before we have to move on, I want to see if we can get up that dunk by John Wall here. Can we get that? Check out this dunk, guys.
Yes.
Look at that.
Wow.
Dunk of the night.
Yeah, that was
only the
cool.
highlight of the whole dunk contest.
Yeah, the dunk contest was not great, but that was great.
That was
cool.
great.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got that on there. John Wall, the dunk champion this year.
Yes.
Something that's kind of cool. That's what's really weird. I don't mean to defer from the Rising Stars, but just noticing that now we have all these such athletic guards nowadays, that we have our point guards winning dunk competitions, and it seems like it's a regular thing
John Wall was in that contest. Damian Lillard was in that, and he had one of the best dunks of the night too.
Exactly.
Yes, he did.
I think that's really cool too. But what I want to ask you guys about, actually, and I don't mean to throw you off right now, but the 3-point contest. How irrelevant has that really become with all the glitz and glamour of everything else in the All-Star contest? I mean, nobody ever talks about it. Marco Bellinelli took home the gold.
Yeah.
I feel like the only way for that to really get some mainstream attention this year was for Steph Curry to go out and put up like 2 points for every shot made.
The rules were
but a
weird
lot of
this year.
points.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry was in it this year, but he didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like he's the only guy that really could have made it cross over into that mainstream. But
And that's the guy that you need to do good
yes,
too.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. You can't have him getting out early in the game, early in the whole thing.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, that's what he
and
did.
he's known as the best shooter in the world.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't have that happen. You need. I don't know what way that they can do it, because they already have the thing where they have because they had the
full money ball rack. Was that the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
And still no one broke a scoring record.
Yeah, it was just a mess. I don't know.
For me, it just gets boring.
I know, right? So
Shot after shot and make after make or miss after miss. It's just boring.
I did appreciate Bellinelli putting up some air balls on his way to a championship.
Yeah, I know. What was that?
That was pretty.
What was he playing?
Yeah, a couple
was
of
hustling or what?
I don't know. A couple of air balls in his opening round, and Reggie Miller calls him an idiot for picking him, and then he wins the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
So
That's Reggie Miller for you. The guy's not really shy of letting his opinions be known. But no, well, I guess that we're out of time for that one. Bell, well, that's the bell. But staying on the court, the Wisconsin Badgers seem to have found their groove yet again. They've won 4 straight after going 5 for 6, or 1 for 6 actually. Got a little ahead of myself there. You know what, Jesse? What do you think about the Badgers' run, and where do they go from here?
big win against Michigan State. I believe it was about 9 days ago, a week and a half. Trayvon Jackson hitting a game-winning jumper at the end of that game, and that's really what's gotten the Badgers off and rolling now. And this week, this Saturday, I do believe, they've got a big game. They're going to Iowa. Iowa, not traditionally good, but they're the number 15 team in the country this year, and that's a big road win for a Badgers team that can add to a lot of really good wins this year. They've got wins versus the number 2 team in the country, Florida. They've got a win over Iowa in Madison, win over Michigan State, who's now number 13, a win at Michigan, who's number 20. So adding another big win going into March and going into the seeding time would really be a big thing for this team.
And I was worried about this team because they started out hot, and then They started out hot, winning 16 straight, and were number 3 at one point, if I recall correctly. And then they lost, and they fell off a little bit, but now they're back, as you said, ranked 16. Winning 4 straight. Decker is averaging 13.5 points per game. Yeah, 4th in the Big Ten right now. I mean, they can put out the pieces right there to have a good run against these last few teams, against Indiana, Penn State, Purdue, Nebraska left. They can,
they can win that out.
Yeah, definitely.
They're definitely picking it up here. In that game versus Michigan, Kaminsky was playing really well. He had 25 points and 11 rebounds. Decker added 15. He's been in double figures in UW's 22 of 26 games. And Gosser also added 13. Kaminsky said after the game, "I wanted the ball in my hands, and I was able to make things happen," which he definitely did.
Yes.
Another note, they only had 2 turnovers, and one of those was an offensive foul. So if they can keep playing like that, things are going to go definitely well for them in the tournament. They're also 6-2 versus AP top 25 teams.
Great record to have.
Yeah, that's great. It just feels like a different team in a way.
Yeah.
The win versus Florida definitely makes them look really.
Yeah, especially because Florida keeps winning and moving up the polls.
Yeah, but they're 2 right now.
Yeah, number 2
Yeah.
now.
Syracuse.
Yeah, you know what I really like about this team is that they don't really have that superstar guy. I mean, anybody can hit that final jumper at any moment. I know we have video of that Trayvon Jackson jumper. Hopefully we can get that on there. Trying to plug these videos. Now check out this jumper, guys. Look at that.
From the corner.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it was so pretty.
I was watching that.
I was listening to it on the
Yes.
radio, so I mean, it's almost just as cool because when the radio personalities try to like make you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
You're in your car. You're like, that was awesome.
Well, right before that, didn't Payne just hit that 3 and then they come down and he?
Yep,
I was so
exactly.
nervous. It seemed like it was just gonna be a broken play and nothing was gonna come of it. And he just comes up and walks to the corner right there and just jumps up and shoots it.
Exactly.
Trayvon Jackson's jumper, not the greatest thing in the world. So
We just got buzzed, but
really.
really quick, one-word answer: is the Wisconsin Badgers a national champion contender? Sam.
No.
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 Alrighty, well there you go. No's,
They're good,
No's
but they're not
for
that
everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. Stick it here. You're listening to Sports Talk Live.
You can find what you're looking for and more at WMCM. WMCM-TV has plenty of shows you can view at your pleasure. There's Profile, where we interview people throughout the community. Or if you like sports, we have Sports Talk Live and Sports Scene. And if you're into celebrity gossip, that's why we have Afternoon Delight.
Well, that all looks great, but I'm on a computer, not a TV. I bet you guys don't have a way for me to watch this stuff on a computer.
Oh, we have that covered too. Just go to WMCMTV.com for all the updates.
Wow, that solves all my problems. Thanks, WMCM Genie.
Is there another promo?
Yeah.
I always forget that there's 2.
I feel
least
but I feel like 2:30 is not going to be enough for each topic. Live, guys. This segment, we're talking about the Brewers, somebody or a team that we all love. I guess I don't know about you. I know you like.
I
Griffey.
love the Brewers.
You love the Brewers? Okay.
I was a Griffey fan at heart.
Definitely good. Well, let's kick it off. The biggest, actually one of the biggest headlines this MLB season, Matt Garza getting signed to a record contract by the Brew Crew. Yeah, there he is, welcoming Matt Garza. He looks pretty good in that Milwaukee Brewers cap. If I do say so.
Absolutely.
Oh, really nice goatee too.
Yeah.
Enjoying the goatee. Alrighty, well, Jesse, you're a expert apparently on Matt Garza. So why don't you take?
I don't know about expert, but
Okay,
I'll
okay.
try my best.
Yeah.
2.5 seasons for Matt Garza in the NL Central. He went to Texas at the back half of last year, got traded there by the Cubs. But in those 2.5 seasons in the NL Central, where he's going to be spending most of his time this year, he was really good. A 3.32 ERA for Matt Garza in his first year, 3.91 the next year, and before he was traded last year, a 3.17 ERA. So very good. And he brings with him one of the best pitches in baseball. Matt Garza's slider is deadly. Batters last year against his slider hit 163. 75 of his 136 strikeouts
there it
is.
came on that slider.
Oh,
and that
buckling.
man.
thing
Buckling the
is
knees.
just
Falling around the
filthy.
table.
Oh, that
And
is a sick slider.
Yes, it really is. So
excited for that.
Matt Garza, really excited to have him in Milwaukee and looking forward to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, the Brewers pitching rotation. I mean, they have Gallardo, and then they have Garza, and then Kyle Lausch. They have a great top 3 starting rotation.
Yeah.
But it's their bullpen that really
Definitely,
needs to.
definitely.
I mean, those top three, they're definitely going to be able to keep them in a lot of their games.
Yes.
But the bullpen, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
Sam, is Matt Garza going to win more than 10 games this year?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Well, Ryan Braun is back, former MVP of the NL. Obviously, this is huge, guys. I mean, it's another powerhouse in their lineup they didn't really have all last season because of the suspension. So, Sam, Ryan Braun is back. What do you say?
I'm very hopeful. I'm expecting a lot of big things as always from him.
Yeah, of course.
Favorite Brewer. He only played 61 games last year, 67 hits, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, .298 batting average, but he only played 61 games.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So we expect him to come back. He's going to have to get used to the crowds everywhere he goes. He's going to get booed. He's going to know that's going to happen. So that's the thing he has to get used to most. He's saying sorry and stuff like that. It's only so much you can do and say,
Yes.
So we're going to see. I'm very hopeful. I think he'll do all right, though. It's going to take some time.
I was definitely just going to say he needs to stay positive because he's going to be booed almost as bad as Barry Bonds was.
Oh, yeah.
And that can definitely have some mental effect on a player. And so I think he'll be able to put up big numbers. I mean, it's Ryan Braun. He's an animal.
Yep.
When he's in there, he'll impact the game. He impacts pitching, everything.
I think it's natural to really expect a dip in his numbers this year, just a little bit.
Yes.
He's got a lot of things distracting him this year. Not only is he going to be booed everywhere he goes, but he's playing a new position this year. Braun moving to right field this season. So he's got that adjustment to make. There's just a lot on Ryan Braun's plate. I don't think he's going to have a bad year necessarily, but I do expect a little bit of a dip in his numbers.
It's just going to take time.
Yes.
That's all it is. I mean, that's all you have to expect from him. I mean, he's not going to have the MVP record numbers. You're not going to be seeing that right away. It just might take some time. That's it.
Exactly. I mean, when you don't play for 100 games, it's gonna be kind of tough to get back literally in the swing of things. But I definitely think that he adds a really powerful at bat to their lineup. It will definitely help out. I personally think it's really gonna help out guys like Carlos Gomez, even Gene Segura, because when you have a guy like Braun, I mean, we saw Segura and Gomez batting in the 3 spot quite a bit last season.
Yeah.
Something that those are 2 guys that need to be in the 1 and 2 spot. Gomez could even fall back a little further, but I think having Braun in the lineup is not only going to improve their lineup, but it's definitely going to improve their team too, because then guess what, guys? They're putting on more runs for their starting pitchers.
Yeah.
That's extremely important too, because they couldn't do that last season either. So I'm really looking forward to Braun coming
it's
back
a young
as well.
back half of that pitching rotation too,
Exactly.
Depending on who's in there. So they need that.
Willie Peralta, those
Yeah,
types of
or
guys.
Thornburg if he's in there every now and then. As a young guy, so you need that run support.
You definitely
Yes.
do. You definitely do. I don't really know how else you can word it besides the fact that having Ryan Braun back, the best player on our team, obviously, and one of the best in the NL. How much more impact can a guy have? I mean, on a team. Well, moving on. Want to talk about a guy having an impact on a team. Let's talk about a guy having no impact on a team. The first base situation for the Milwaukee Brewers. They picked up Lyle Overbay and Mark Reynolds, 2 guys. Lyle Overbay played here like 15 years ago. Mark Reynolds didn't play here 15 years ago, but it seems like he's had more strikeouts in 15 years than the entire MLB as an organization in the past 15 years.
That might be true.
Guys, who's your pick at first base, Travis? I heard you have a little bit of a surprise for us.
I'm definitely taking Lyle Overbay.
Wow.
I mean, the guy's 37 years old, but I mean, it's not that hard to swing a baseball bat. I mean, he had 35 homers and 87 doubles when he was with the Brewers in 2004 and 2005. And we just can't have Mark Reynolds there. I mean, he set a major league record with 223 strikeouts in 2009.
That is a lot.
There's more than
I'll give you
games.
That is crazy.
That's a lot. Yeah,
that is a lot. And if we put Overbay in front or behind Braun, that's definitely going to be able to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, he can pop him too. So.
What do you think, Jesse?
Mark Reynolds. That's
like
what I
that.
want.
I like the argument.
But I will admit his fault, and his fault is striking out. And not only does he hold the MLB record for striking out, but he has 3 of the top 6 most strikeout seasons ever.
Oh, wow. So it's like, that's the worst
But
statistic I think.
man.
before I bury why I'm picking him, 202 career home runs for Mark Reynolds. And he's going to be going to Miller Park, where balls fly out of that
They
park.
do.
And despite all the strikeouts, he gets on base at a decent clip. Historically, Reynolds anywhere around a 310 to 349 on base percentage. That's
not bad.
not
That's
good.
terrible.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's better than Uni Betancourt. That's
Yeah,
all I
that's
really.
actually-
That's
yeah,
all I
yeah.
really care about.
Yeah. Is Juan Francisco on the?
He is an option.
He's an option.
That's more of a
We
surprise.
put Maldonado
him.
at first base a couple of times.
Actually, I don't mind that.
We could
I
definitely
don't mind
do
that.
that.
I mean, well,
I don't mind that either.
I don't know. It depends. They're probably gonna be shuffling these guys in all over the place.
See, the thing about Corey Hart, if you want to talk about Corey Hart again, Corey Hart jacked out a lot of homers, and he also had a lot of RBIs, and he didn't necessarily strike out as much, but his on-base percentage was pretty terrible. I'm pretty sure he didn't break 300 in some of his All-Star seasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about it in that sense, I mean, yeah, this guy's going to be striking out a lot, and it can be really frustrating, but if he's getting on base at a higher rate than one of our older All-Star basemen did, I mean, that might be positive. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Last topic for our Brewers discussion. Scooter Gennett is taking on Ricky Weeks, battling out for the second base position. Ricky Weeks has had my heart for quite a few years, but I'm starting to realize that, boy, does he suck.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
where do the Brewers go, guys? I got to know. Scooter Gennett or Ricky Weeks, what is your pick?
Give me Scooter Gennett. I'll take Gennett's 324 with a 356 on base, even though he has a little bit less power than Ricky. Well, a lot less power than Ricky, let's be honest. But 356 on base is really good. Weeks lately hasn't been great. 306 on base last year, 209 batting average. For me, Ricky Weeks, I mean, he's good to have around. He could get hot, and then maybe you want to plug him in for a few games. But I'm going to give the majority of my starts to the guy with more upside, and I think that's Scooter Gennett.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take Scooter Gennett as well. He's young. Ricky Weeks, every time I watch him, he's just awful.
I know. Isn't that weird?
Every time I watch, he strikes out.
It's like you never see him play good.
You've never seen him
That
play
doesn't
good.
happen.
Not since 2011.
At the beginning of the year, Ricky Weeks always seems to start out hot at the beginning of the year. So I wouldn't mind
true.
seeing a platoon at the beginning of the year with them two rotating.
Okay.
And then whoever plays better, give him a spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Throw him in there occasionally.
I agree with that. I'm leaning more towards Scooter. I was a big fan of Ricky to begin with.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
Loved him. 61 games last year Scooter played, 324 batting average. I mean, 61 games, that's not bad, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Ricky last season had 73 hits, 10 home runs, 24 RBIs, 105 strikeouts.
That's making me
That's
cringe,
awful.
man.
Yeah. See, I mean,
Isn't
I really love Ricky. I like the platoon idea a lot.
You just don't want to get rid of him, do you?
No, that's the thing.
I know. I'm the same way. I don't want to get rid of him.
And it's like, because when he gets hot, he gets hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just have memories of him hitting ropes back in 2011.
Yes, I know.
To gaps.
Yeah, and then his defense starts turning up, which he's not bad at second every now and then.
Every now and then is a
Every
great
now
way to
and
put it,
then.
because there's the part between now and then.
Yeah.
that
There's
is
some
not
balls
good.
It's that then that's
Yeah.
the then that you don't want.
Yeah,
Obviously.
exactly.
You can get that
Maybe
way
we could-
more than the now.
Maybe we can root for him to break Mark Reynolds' strikeout record.
Maybe we could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
positive
something that we
thing.
could do.
Oh, a contest.
there
Why
we
not?
go.
Make
Yeah.
it fun at
Yeah.
Was
least.
it Lyle Overbay? Was it the Buckhead Brigade then? Is that him? Or was that
know.
somebody else? I can't remember. I was just thinking about
I'm not
that.
even certain. All I know is that like you said, Travis. I mean, when I watch Ricky Weeks, I swear there were so many games last season where he's the type of guy where he's batting 170, and you're like, oh, this is the game he's going to go off, and then it's like 4 strikeouts, and you're like,
Yeah.
next game. I mean, he has to turn up eventually, right? And then he never does, and that's what's so discouraging, and that's what makes you think, okay, so let's say we do like Ricky Weeks, but if we can get some value for him, do we get it? Do we trade Ricky Weeks? One-word answers, Sam.
Yes, if you can get a pitcher.
No.
Yes, but I don't think you'll get value.
2 yeses and a no. Well,
won't, yeah.
we have Olympic talk coming up right after this. You're watching Sports Talk Live.
At the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, surround yourself with potential. Surround yourself with lifelong friends. Step on campus and be welcomed with a friendly smile. It's just like home. Surround yourself with nature's beauty. Nestled in western Wisconsin's driftless area, it's perfect for learning. Hike the bluffs, bike the marsh, soar. Surround yourself with challenging academics. Our motto is Men's Corpus Gay, Latin for mind and body. Experience a whole education. Conduct research. Surround yourself with distinction. Surround yourself with UW-La Crosse.
Sports Talk Live. We're going to talk about some Olympics, guys, because that's probably the biggest thing happening in the entire world right now.
Yes.
So we had to get to it eventually. USA Hockey turning it up, especially the men's. You know, they beat out Russia 3-2. So Sam, men's USA Hockey. What's your reaction?
Yeah, as you said, they beat Russia this past weekend in a shootout with TJ Oshie hitting the. He scored 4 times in the shootout. Actually,
Put that clip up there.
Yeah,
Get that
give
clip.
that
Yeah.
Let's see that clip. Get that clip.
Different angles and everything.
There we go.
Oh, Oshie! Look at this.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Oof.
Right between the legs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bible.
Sorry. Go
He
home.
scored between
We'll
his
see you
legs
later.
twice of that.
Oh, man.
And that was
That
it right
was-
there.
That was
Yep.
nice.
Oh,
Yes.
I felt bad
So
for
right
Russia
now they are 3-0, 2 wins and 1 overtime win with 8 points. And the next game that they play is against the Czech Republic.
Yes.
So things are looking up for them
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I actually watched the overtime round of it, and that was pretty crazy. I mean, they went into the 8th round. That's pretty nuts. I kept thinking, like, okay, this is it. And then he'd hit one, and then the guy from Russia would hit one. I'd be like, well, it's definitely going to be over now because it just kept going, and it was exciting.
Sure.
I never thought I'd be able to get excited watching hockey, I guess. But,
Jesse?
Yeah, this is a team right now that's set up, I think, to really get some revenge on Canada. 2010, if you remember, gold medal match. U.S. gets a goal real late to send that game into overtime, but Sidney Crosby gets the winner and the gold medal for Canada. I think this team is dominating right now, 7-1 over Slovakia, 5-1 win over Slovenia. This is a team that could really make a run in this tournament, and I would really expect them to get back to that gold medal match and maybe even win it this time.
You know, that's really big, guys. I mean, just like you, Travis, I'm not really a big fan of hockey, but this game, Russia taking on the United States, actually had me on the tip of my toes, which you don't see a lot from like sport. I mean, I just don't get hockey, man. I don't get it. I don't understand
I always want to
it.
try to get into it, but it's so tough.
I know. I sit there and I'm like, please, like, help me out, hockey. But anyways, talking about duds as far as sports, see, I'm trying to transition there. Shaun White laid a goose egg. You like that title? Flying Tomato Spoiled. Well, he literally spoiled the snowboarding competition in the negative way down in the Olympics this year. Maybe we have a clip of him actually taking a little teeter, and there it is. Oh, that might have hurt a little bit. That hurt him a little bit. Jesse, what do you got on Shaun White?
Well, Shaun White, the victim of some terrible half-pipe conditions in Russia. But that is really no excuse for a guy of Shaun White's caliber, which we just keep showing him falling over and over again. But no athlete in any sport has been more dominant than Shaun White has been. 2 Olympic gold medals in the last 2 Olympics coming in. He had won 6 straight X Games gold medals before he withdrew this year to focus on Sochi. Irony, but terrible conditions. But for a guy like Shaun White, who has been the best in the world by a margin at what he does, and the most dominant athlete on the planet, He's got to land a clean run at some point, and he just didn't, and it sucks for him.
Sam.
Yeah, as you see right there, he was trying to do the YOLO flip. That's what it's called.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The guy that won.
Yuri Podolagic.
Yuri Podolagic.
Yeah.
He actually landed the flip.
Oh.
But I ask you guys this: where's his head? You guys know he's in a band, actually, right?
What?
Yes, he's in a band.
Doesn't surprise me.
Is he the singer?
He's a guitarist, I believe.
Oh.
But yeah, so he's in that. So I wonder where his focus has been in this Olympics.
Probably not. Yeah, probably with his band.
I think he said that
guitar,
he's going to. I don't know if this is true though. I think he's going to take some time away and try to focus more so on the band stuff right now.
Really?
Wow.
But I don't know if that's true.
That is news, man. You're here to hear first
better
on
not.
Sports
I
Talk
love
Live.
I know, me too.
You should tweet that or something. That's news to me. I didn't know about that. What do you think about that, Travis? What do you think about the band thing, Travis? I mean, okay, if you were a gold medalist in snowboarding, would you rather be a gold medalist in snowboarding or jamming out in your mom's garage?
I mean, if he likes his mom's garage, so be it. But I'd say, why would you leave if you're that good?
Yeah.
But I mean, if
I
you're
have no
slumping,
idea.
you gotta do it.
I have no idea. Why would we leave if we're this good? Well, we have to because we're not allowed to stay on any later. This has been Sports Talk Live, but really quick, Travis has something to say.
I have a shout out to Mrs. Ring and my hometown team, the Prentice Buccaneers. They had a big upset in a conference win last night. Also a big shout out to the Rhodey boys with a combined 33 points last night.
Well, you know what's really funny, guys? Tricked ya. We do get to stay on longer. Yeah! We have a whole nother segment.
Woohoo!
We have to talk about Olympic reaction, guys. What do you think I was? Do you think I was joking around?
A little bit.
Yeah, I was joking around. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. So let's talk about it, man. The Olympics as a whole, USA tied for the #1 spot in the total medal
race.
The medal race, exactly. I believe. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Guys, quick analysis on the Olympics so far. Sam, we'll start with you.
Victor Ahn, bought for the Russian speed skating team, won gold in the short track 1,000-meter race this past weekend. Interesting story.
Very interesting. Travis?
I was watching the ice dancing, and I just think that's pretty cool. Some of the things they do, yeah.
Ice dancing's pretty cool. I enjoy it as well. Jesse?
Big ups to Sage Kotzenberg getting the first gold medal of this Olympics for the Americans in the snowboard slopestyle, taking out traditional favorite Mark McMorris. Normally also a Shaun White event, but he pulled out of that to focus on Superpipe. Didn't really work out for him, but big ups to Sage Kotzenberg on that.
Definitely, guys. Well, all I know is that I'm really looking forward to when I love the Olympics, but dude, it's been like 3 weeks, man. It feels like
Yeah.
it's been like 10 years. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on here? Okay, I'm ready for another 4-year
When we're
hiatus.
skiing
of
and then
Olympics.
shooting guns at targets, I mean.
What is up with that?
Yes,
That is
I
the
mean,
goofiest
I can
thing.
just stop that
curling
one.
yet.
What is that?
You haven't
Yeah.
watched curling?
I don't have cable.
Oh,
Oh,
you poor man.
man. That, I guess. Well, I mean, then I guess you.
Curling's
escaped all
just
the
pure excitement.
Have you ever done
Technicness of-
curling actually?
I've never done it.
It's
no.
awesome. I've done
Is
it.
it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
No
seriously.
way.
They yell really loud in curling,
yeah.
and I was.
They yell?
Yes,
What do they
it's
yell?
ridiculous.
Like, hey, brush
Left.
that ice faster. Brush it faster.
ridiculously
Ah.
loud too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, very interesting. Well, sorry guys. Actually, you know what? This isn't a joke this time. We do have to say
you
farewell.
sure?
Yes, we have to say farewell to our audience. Thanks for joining us for Sports Talk Live. This has been the first installment on it on this semester. Thursday, make sure you're tuning in. Screening Room will be on at this time. You've been listening to Sports Talk Live for Nick.
Jesse?
Travis?
Sam.
We wish you a fair night. Have a great night, lacrosse. What's going on right now? See you guys later.
Good night, Canada.